right. Yes. So as I said, we are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and joining us today for Your Body and You is Michelle Hart to share her story with us about breast cancer. Good morning to you, Michelle.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And you are so welcome. No, you know, one of the things, I don't know how easy or how difficult it is for survivors because everybody has a different story. And I just wanted you to share your story because I think a great part of awareness is that it has a face. You know, because when we hear of things and it doesn't affect us and we don't see anybody, we just be like, okay, it's out of our realm. We're good. Right. And there's this false sense of security. We don't want people to have that. So talk to us about when you got, when you realized that you had breast cancer.
So actually, this is my 10th year being on this program as a survivor. Yeah. A survivor is not just someone who's been through cancer or who's experienced breast cancer or any cancer. A survivor is your mother, your father, anyone who helped you. So we're all survivors in this.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And you know what? I understand that because I think one of the things people don't recognize is that you cannot go through it alone.
Right.
And that all the people who are around you who are affected by your schedule, your illness, is that they too go through it as much as you do because they have to change.
Yeah, they have to adapt.
Yeah.
They have to adapt to what you're going through, and they all have different feelings, and everyone deals with it differently. I am still the person who goes for a checkup for my birthday, on or around my birthday.
Why?
In February. It's a gift to yourself. Early detection saved my life, and if everyone would say around their birthday, you remember your birthday.
Yeah.
So you should remember to be able to make an appointment around your birthday, get a checkup, so every year you remember.
Talk to us about how this early detection or screening saved your life. What was it that made you say, I need to go and get checked, something is off?
No, so I went for my regular annual checkup. It's usually in February. That year my gynecologist was traveling and he postponed the appointment until January, February, March, April, May of that year. He was traveling to India. So by the time he got back, my appointment didn't happen in February as usual. It happened in May. When he felt the small, it was a 2 centimeter lump. So when he felt, I call it my little black eye pea. So when he found it, he says, are you feeling this? I hadn't felt it before. Chances are if I had gone in February, it may not have been there, or it may not have been that size that would have been easily detectable. So I say things happen for a reason. So at that point he says we're going to do a scan and see, you know, what it is. The report of the scan says suspicious. So we decided anyway we were going to do surgery, remove it. The surgeon explained to me that you don't see cancer everywhere in the body, only probably in the stomach you can see cancer. Otherwise, it's suspicious. You have to test it to know whether it's cancerous or not.
Yeah.
So there was a 50-50 chance that it was or it wasn't.
You actually removed it before even a biopsy to see what it was.
So we removed the lump. We did a lumpectomy, removed the lump, tested it, and went back in to remove my stitches. And at that point, he says, we found some cancer cells. To me, the cancer cells were in the lump. I never felt as though I had cancer.
Right.
And I guess my mindset is probably also what saved me. We decided to go back into surgery and scoop out a little bit more, test it, see if it had spread. I also removed my nodes, which should, in case it were to come back, that it wouldn't spread through my nodes. We removed all 21 nodes. They were all clear.
How does that affect you, though, in terms of to remove the nodes? Does it take away from any other aspect of your feelings or your body?
I don't sweat under my right arm, so I wish I could take out my nodes under my left arm. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. There's certain things that it does affect. To prevent lymphedema in my right arm, I don't lift heavy things with my right arm. So it's adaptations that come along with life, but then it's life as compared to what could have happened if it spread, if it, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
so even before detecting this 2 centimeter lump, you always went for screening.
Every single year.
Why did you do that?
Because I just think you get to a point in your life where you need to check yourself and be able to make sure that you're healthy, and then
Does breast cancer run in your family?
No, it doesn't.
So were you surprised though that here you were, and then this
Totally
thing just
shocked.
showed up?
Yeah, it's like, wow, it's like, why did this happen to me? Why me?
Yeah. Do you still ask that question?
No, not anymore. Things happen for a reason, and you never know what the reason is until it's happened. And I realize now that sometimes I ask myself, why am I still alive? So many persons are passing away, recently, whether it's from COVID or, strokes, heart attacks, whatever it is. So you realize it gives your life more purpose.
Yeah.
More reason to get up in the morning.
Have you figured out what that purpose is? Because I think that's something that all of us, search for, is that, when you have any health condition, as I do, mine is is numerous. You realize that, I just last night I went onto my family chat and I realized that they put up a video of grave digging for my neighbor, who was 41 years old, the vice principal of a school, who died from COVID. And then right away, my uncle put up that one of our very, very close neighbors, people who you grew up with in the community, and he's about my age, had died from COVID.
Yeah.
And he was, he was saying that he's in Jamaica now, so he's acting as the reporter, not me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the only report I'm getting out of Jamaica is death. From COVID. And it makes you realize that you have all these struggles and you're going through all these health issues, but you're still alive. Which means there has to be some purpose to your life.
So when I asked that question, one of the persons in my support system was actually Nurse Bernice Bacchus, and she says it will reveal itself in time.
Yeah.
And after coming through treatment, I was asked by then Paul Richards at that point in time, who had started his Survivor series here on TTT.
Yeah.
And when I came here, I was up, like sitting here waiting on the next interview, and the person who had been burned, all over her body, I thought, oh my gosh, breast cancer is nothing compared to what she's going through, And my way of looking at breast cancer is, of all the cancers to get, it's like the common cold of cancers. I mean, doctors might say I'm wrong, but it's preventable. Well, not preventable. There are things you can do. You can exercise. You have to love you to live. You have to love yourself. And if you don't love you and you don't take care of you, then nobody else will.
So talk to us about some of those adjustments you had to make in your life as a result of surviving breast cancer. I remember you saying not lifting anything heavy with your right arm.
Yeah.
What are the dangers of that?
Because my lymph nodes have been removed, there's no drainage in my right arm of fluids. So you'd see people with sleeves on their arms. I've never had to wear one. You can have a massage to drain your lymphatic system, which I did at one point, and now I know exactly how to do it myself. And you just do some things that prevent lymphedema from happening, where there's swelling of the arm. And it can happen at any point in time. Like if I were to pick up a paintbrush and start painting a whole wall, my arm could start swelling. But so far, so good. So
thank
live
God.
Every day to the fullest.
Right. And how did your diagnosis and your treatment affect the people around you?
I guess because I don't think of it as keeping me back in any way. I think sometimes people probably forget that I even had breast cancer, except for when people see my hair, because I had long hair. So sometimes people who haven't seen me for a long time, they see my short hair and they go, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm great," because they signify the short hair with no hair, being bald, having treatment for cancer. So they think that I'm still doing treatment, but treatment was ended,
Yeah.
10
But
years
did it
ago.
affect your hair growing back? Yes or no?
It grew back, wispy and light, and
It's not the
technically
same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's like baby hair. It's pretty soft. It's it's just, I don't have the curls that I had before, but it's hair, and hair's overrated after a while.
No, it is. It is, and you realize that if you had to choose between health and hair, there's no choice. You know, really and truly.
Yeah.
So I think that, I like your story in that you dealt with it so positively. But do you find that there's a lot of ignorance out there surrounding, what people think about breast cancer or how they react to breast cancer, whether it's screening, early detection, whether it's treatment? Do you find that there's a lot of ignorance out there?
A lot of people live in fear that I listen to a lot of friends who say, my mom had cancer, my aunt had cancer, cancer's in my family, I'm not going for a checkup. And I'm like, that's why you need to go for a checkup, because your mom, your aunt, your sister, whatever it is, had cancer. It runs in your family. You need to go. In fact, you need to go every single year around your birthday so that you don't forget. Because if you find it early enough, it's not gonna affect your life for very long. It will, for a little while you'll have to do treatment or do what's necessary to remove the lump. But in the long run, you can actually live a full life all the way to, 100 years,
Well, we have a culture, across the Caribbean where we don't go to the doctor until we're close to dying.
Right.
Yeah.
So the longer you wait with cancer, it means it would spread. So it will grow, it will spread into different parts of your body. So by the time you feel sick, then it's too late.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to go for your checkups.
Because can you imagine, you weren't feeling sick. This was just a regular checkup.
I was the fittest of my life at that point in time. I was running Chancellor, running up, running down. Before you start treatment, you have to test your kidneys, your heart. You have to do all these different tests, and everything was above average.
Right. So you know what? Are you able to still do these things, considering, as you said, that you can't sweat in your right arm and you have to prevent lymphedema?
Yeah. I have to do it because I have to love me to live. So I need to exercise. I need to eat healthy.
Are these things that the doctors recommend, to ensure that you don't, what they call it, relapse? Is that what they call it?
I don't think of relapse as being an option in my life. I just try to be positive.
I am happy to, as I said, that you have this kind of reaction to what you're going through. So what's that one message that you'll give to people? As you said, is it just make sure that you get screened? If
you have not been for your checkup, your annual checkup, men and women, in the past year, due to COVID, since we locked down since March last year, whether it be money that you haven't been working, so you think you can't afford it, there are options. There's the pink hibiscus. There's lots of different options for women. Use them. Yeah. Go for your checkup. Do your checkups every month yourself. Do self-examinations.
How do you do that?
It's on Google. You can check, exactly how it's done. Put your hand behind your back. Yeah.
Right.
And use your left hand and do your right.
And just gently probe.
Gently probe. Yeah. All the way around. And check under your armpits.
To see if there are any lymph nodes that you're feeling.
Right. Yeah. And just keep checking. Finding something is not scary. Yeah. I mean, it's been 11 great years for me. There are lots of other women in Trinidad who are probably not, haven't come out to say anything, but they too have been through the experience and they're living their lives to the fullest.
Well, Michelle, we want to present this little token to you and wish you not just 11, but plenty more great years. And we want to thank you so much for being here on the No Morning Show.
Thank you so much again for having me.
You're most welcome.
Don't forget to make your appointment.
I will.
Today.
I will. All right. So, but my birthday is in March, though.
Well, it's not too early.
All right. It's not too early. All right. All right. So Michelle Hart here talking to us about, surviving breast cancer. And she said it was just a regular checkup. There was no symptoms. She wasn't feeling sick or anything. But she detected something at that checkup and she went. So early screening is so important. Rokas?
Most definitely.